Hi, I'm STARBORN. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is For the First Time. Ooh, what could be happening for the first time? Something pretty miraculous. And that is because for the first time in a long time, there are planets in all four elements. And in Western astrology, the four elements are fire, air, earth, and water. And since there are planets in all of them, and there are no retrograde planets, all of those planets are going direct and moving forward, and that means that we can do the same thing. And there's something in it for everybody, because all of the elements have planets that are either trining them, or else they have planets that are very strong in a sign. And so to begin with, we have the fire signs that haven't had planets in them in a long time. So for the first time in a while, we have the Sun and Venus, the planet of love, closely conjuncting each other. Venus is at 3 degrees, the Sun is at 4 degrees, and they are trining the Moon today in Leo. Isn't that great? It's a trine of the lights. And then those three planets are also trining the sign of Sagittarius. So this is wonderful if you want to make a new beginning. It's also good for children, and it's good for lovers, and horse racing, and being a leader or an entrepreneur. And it's also great for traveling as well. Even if you can't just take off and travel at the moment, you could probably make some pretty good plans for that, and they would be rather successful. And then that's followed up by the fact that there are another 3 planets in the air signs, which are very creative. And they are Mars, which is in Gemini, trining Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. And together, those 3 are trining the sign of Libra as well. Well, fire and air are very compatible. So that's nice, because there's 3 in fire and 3 in air. 6 planets, really very harmonious with each other. And because there is a trine in the air signs, it simply means that there can be a lot of chatter going on right now, or a lot of exchange of ideas or information, and a lot of plans. There could even be some sort of hectic schedules going on, or deadlines that you suddenly have to meet. But you could really do that, because Mars in Gemini is trining Saturn in Aquarius. And Saturn, these 2 are malefic planets, but they're working beautifully together right now. And Jupiter is trining that Mars as well. So if somebody wants you to sort of hurry up, or they want you to listen to something, or they want you to get your ideas down, you know, if they're interested, you should try to cooperate, because it might lead to a pretty good partnership. Remember that these planets in air signs are trining the sign of Libra as well, and Libra rules partnership. Then there are another 2 planets in the earth signs, and that is because Uranus in Taurus is trining Pluto in Capricorn. The earth signs are very practical, and they go for long-term success, and they're willing to work very hard to get it. So they make time their friend, and they just let the clock keep ticking in order to assure their success in one way or another. So this is a good time for you to be thinking long term. And as far as how much work you can get done in a day, maybe you have to schedule that a little bit more carefully, because you could have greater demands on your relationships or on your social life, because there could be more opportunities to have fun and to get out and mix and mingle, which would be great. But if your mind is really on business right now and on your investments, then you really need to be practical and not take a gamble or not take any chances, but still sort of just move one step at a time in a very steady manner, because that's what will make you secure at the end. And then there are two planets in the water signs, and they are Mercury and Neptune in Pisces. And these planets are not being trined by any other planets because there are no planets in Cancer or in Scorpio, but they are very strong planets. After all, Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and Mercury is the planet of the mind, and Pisces rules things behind the scenes. And since Mercury is a communication planet, we may find out much more about things that have been hidden or glossed over for a while. So this is a time when everybody can have a chance, maybe even for the first time, sort of a clear shot at really trying to go forward and start something new or do something that they really want to concentrate their efforts on. And that's wonderful. However, there are still 4 planets squaring each other in a harsh T-cross among the fixed signs. And that is because today, that glorious moon in Leo, a fixed sign, is opposing Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, which rule the future. And together, these 3 planets are also being squared by Uranus in Taurus. So these 4 planets in fixed signs, which do not budge, can still represent challenges. And that's because challenges still persist and gridlock is still around. It's not quite as heavy as it was at the start of the year, but it's still around. And so you do have to watch out for that, because there could be, with these harsh squares among these fixed planets, there could be some harsh challenges, particularly financial challenges, that you need to be aware of and you need to be careful about right now. So don't spend all your money right now. You may need some for later, particularly if your expenses rise unexpectedly. So this is simply a time when all of us, for the first time, are going to have the opportunity to move forward and perhaps succeed at something that had failed before. You know, maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe there wasn't enough money around. Maybe you couldn't get the people together. Maybe something just failed because it just wasn't the right time for it to happen. But this time, since everyone has a shot at doing something pretty productive right now, I would say that you can move forward and you could succeed, particularly at something that had failed before. So I hope you give that a chance, or give it a try, or go back and don't be discouraged, but just think to yourself, well, I'll just try it one more time. Because now that there are such good planets in the fire signs, including the lights, remember the moon in Leo is trining the sun and Venus in Aries. It simply means that, there could be people around now that really want to get something underway, and they could either help you very much, or maybe you could help them. That would be nice too. Okay, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Aries, lucky you. Venus and the sun are conjuncting in your sign. Ooh, you're the flavor of the month, Aries, and you could be very popular. You can also be in a great mood right now. And that is because that moon in Leo is trining your sun. Isn't that harmonious? It's particularly harmonious for children, love affairs, leadership, sports, anything that is creative. And so, if you're planning a vacation, for instance, then it could be something where you're thinking about having fun in the sun. Well, why don't you go ahead and do that, Aries? That could be pretty nice for you. At any rate, you are very well aspected to make a new beginning right now. It may not be that new, though. It might be something that had failed before. If it has, I would say that you are in the perfect position, Aries, to give something another try. Only this time, you got to just give it that extra push. And I think that you can succeed at that. You may also find some other people to help you, people who have good leadership or organizational skills, and maybe that can help you succeed as well. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Taurus. There are two planets in Earth signs right now. Uranus is in your sign, and it is being trined by Pluto in Capricorn. Well, you don't need to worry, Taurus. Those two planets are going to be there for years. Neither one of them leaves their sign until 2025. So this is a time when, of course, you would be wise to think very long term, probably more toward the idea of building up a nest egg for a pension plan or a retirement fund. Or it can be that you want to make a nice investment, and it could have something to do with property. And the reason why is that Taurus does rule nice property, sort of high-priced property, and it also rules good quality. And so a Taurus is pretty careful with their money because they'd rather pay more and get more at the same time. And so this is a time when if something, particularly a purchase or an investment of yours, had not worked out satisfactorily before due to conditions beyond your control, maybe now is the time to really go to the experts and try to get everything straightened out. And remember to keep as much as you can in your own hands, Taurus, because you are working to provide for your loved ones, and you know them better than anybody else. So, do what's good for your loved ones, no matter what else somebody is saying. And that way, you will be fulfilling a great talent that you have for making sure that your loved ones are secure and safe. And a Taurus sometimes says, I love you with their money. And that's because Venus is the ruler of your sign, Taurus. And so hopefully you'll be able to do that, particularly in the long run or for the long run. So I wish you the best of luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Gemini. You're so lucky, Gemini, that you have some very good planets trining your sun sign. And that is because you have Mars in your sun sign. Now your sign rules conversation and gossip and public relations and temporary or part-time things and a lot of buying and selling. So you can be interested in doing all of that, but you're very lucky that Saturn in Aquarius and Jupiter in Aquarius are both trining your sun, because Saturn represents highly respected people who've been around for a long time and really know what they're doing. And they can be of great help to you right now, Gemini, because you are full of a lot of great ideas. But you always are going to need people who really, they may not be as creative as you, but they understand the process for success. Okay, it's one thing to have a successful idea, but it doesn't mean much if you can't organize it and develop it and sell it or finance it and make it pay. And that's what those planets in Aquarius represent, particularly Saturn. Saturn is a planet that would know how to do that. And so you need to be around other people who have already been successful in one way or another. Even if they were retired from their success, they know how to become successful. And those are the people you need to consult. Because Jupiter is also in Aquarius trining your sun. Lucky you, Gemini. You can not only profit from wise advice, but you can profit from a lot of opportunities, future opportunities that can be coming your way all year long. So I hope you get out and talk to people and sort of connect with them and be real practical and really listen to good advice right now. Not just give it, but listen to it, because other people will be happy to help you. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time when you can certainly profit from news that comes to you from behind the scenes. And that is because Mercury is in Pisces, and Mercury rules news and communication, and Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, is there as well, and they both trine your sun, Cancer. So lucky you. You're definitely going to have some news coming your way that might even surprise you a little bit. And so Cancers are sort of calm people, and it can be that you can take something pretty calmly right now that is unexpected. In other words, you may not have expected quite the news that you may get right now, Cancer, but you know, I think you're going to handle it beautifully. And in fact, it also could have something to do with a financial matter. You're going to handle that really well too, Cancer. So I would say, you know, just go slow, and whatever you learn about things behind the scenes will only help you in the end if you really take it into consideration. In other words, don't let it just go over the top of your head. If you don't understand something, go ask an expert. They'll explain it to you, Cancer, and that way you can handle something a lot better. And there just should be news about something either that was kept from you or something that others did behind the scenes that needs clarification. Maybe you just need some more facts coming out, and that's what is about to occur. So I think that that'll do you a lot of good. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when there's a lot of light on you, Leo, and that's because the moon is in your sign today, and it is being beautifully trined by the sun and Venus in Aries, and together those three planets are also trining the sign of Sagittarius. Are you thinking of traveling, Leo? Because if you are, you sure should make plans right now, because they could work out very well. It doesn't even mean that you travel at the moment, but your plans could certainly please you very much, and you could follow through on them right now. You can definitely be in a position to start something new. And not only would you want to do that, but you see that Sun and Venus are trining the moon in your sign, and that means someone else could come to you with a great idea, or they could have already started something new and they may want you to join them. And that would be great. In fact, you know, Leo, just think of it this way. The world is opening up. Your world is opening up. And it's looking pretty good. Mars in Gemini is sextiling your sun. The sun and Venus in Aries are trining your sun. That's great. The only thing that is standing in your way is this harsh T-cross among the fixed signs. You still could have some money problems somewhere. I don't think you're causing the money problems, but somebody else could be. And you know, you're more or less just going to have to roll with it or live with it for right now, because the situation is not in your hands, it's in their hands. And so I wouldn't pay too much attention to that, Leo. You are under wonderful aspects right now. You need to get out and start something new. And it might come to you, but either way, I would just say yes, Leo, and really enjoy yourself. It's time to do that. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when it's good that the earth signs are trining each other, because Uranus in Taurus and Pluto in Capricorn are trining your sun. And that means that you can know some pretty powerful people, or it even can be that the people who are in positions that oversee budgets or make policy, long-term policy, can be making policy or can be handling the budgets in a way that does favor you, Virgo. And the reason why is that they want people who are steady and efficient and do their duty. and stick around when a problem arises, and they stay with the problem until it's solved. And that's you, Virgo. You're a good problem solver, and you sort of keep at it even when other people leave. And so this is a time from now until whenever you retire that you're going to be meeting up with people that are making policies or handling budgets that are going to do you a lot of good, Virgo. Whether you know these people or not, they're still going to benefit you and your long-term career plans. So I would say keep doing what you're doing, Virgo, because you're getting a very good reputation. And you've got to keep it up. And you know that. In fact, you would never consider not keeping up. Because Virgos, they like to follow through. Your sign rules finishing. So, you know, in times of trouble or uncertainty, people are always going to lean on the person who stays behind and finishes things. That's you, Virgo. And so, you know, if you get some really tough task landing on your shoulders, it's actually a compliment in disguise. It means they really trust that you know what you're doing and they need you for that. And so they're going to take care of you for a long time as long as you stick with them. And I think that you can do that and really enjoy it. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Libra. It's wonderful that there's 3 planets in the air signs trining each other, because Mars in Gemini is trining your sun, and so are Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. And so you have a lot of support right now, Libra, more than you've had in a long time. By long time, I mean at least a year and a half or 2 years. And the reason why is that throughout 2020, there were harsh squares among the cardinal signs, and yours is a cardinal sign. You were getting buffeted by challenges from other people. You wouldn't even had to do anything. You were still getting challenged by other people throughout 2020. Well, here it is 2021, and that's not happening quite so much, but it's still happening a little bit, and that's because Pluto in Capricorn is squaring your sun, and the sun and Venus in Aries are opposing your sun sign. And that means in your life, Libra, somebody else wants to make a new start, and they're probably going to do it. And they're probably going to be successful at it. So I hope you back them up, Libra, because it looks to me like a new start that a lot of people make right now is probably going to be successful. Now, I don't know for how long, but it could still be successful. And so, Libra, you have your own new starts that you can handle right now. But what I think is that you're one of the people that is going to benefit by moving forward and possibly now being successful about something that had been a past failure. This is just the timing is better right now for you, Libra. So I think that you're going to do just fine. Even if you have to go back to something that you've done before, I think you're going to do really well with it, and it will succeed. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Scorpio. This is a time when you benefit certainly from the 2 planets in Pisces that are trining your sun, Mercury and Neptune. And that means that as more truth comes to the surface and an imposter is exposed, or there is some sort of covert activity that has been glossed over but now it's revealed, that is really going to create a sense of justice in one way or another. And I think that you're going to be quite agreeable to that. Scorpio, you may even say to yourself quietly, ooh, it's about time. Well, that's just fine. But you see, yours, you know, there are good things happening for everybody, but challenges persist, particularly for your sign. And the reason why is because there are 4 planets in the fixed signs, and they all square and oppose your sign, Scorpio. So this is a week when you really should be very quiet if you can, because the moon in Leo is squaring your sun. And Uranus in Taurus is opposing your sun, and Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius are also squaring your sun. You might feel as if your future plans are sort of stopped right now, or they can't go forward for one reason or another, and it could be a financial reason. Okay, so that's a challenge. It doesn't mean the whole year's going to be like that, though. It just means that right now, it's going to be a little hard for you to navigate, Scorpio. So I wouldn't try to do that. I mean, don't walk into somebody else's trap. Instead, keep a little bit more to yourself. Be quiet. Keep a low profile. There's plenty you can do by yourself, Scorpio. And that would be better for you right now, because that way you could avoid all the challenges around you, some of which are mean-spirited or greedy. And just sort of stay in the background for right now if you can, because the justice is going to happen anyway, and you will be pleased by it. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Sagittarius. This is a time when you really benefit from the fact that the lights are in the fire signs. So that moon in Leo is trining your sun, and so are the sun and Venus in Aries. Are you about to start something new, Sagittarius? Yes, I think so. And since your sign rules travel and higher education and the courts, I would say that all of those things are well favored right now, but particularly the idea of starting something new, because the Sun and Venus are conjuncting each other. They're real tight and close to each other in their orbits, and so they're in almost perfect alignment, and that simply means that new beginnings are so well favored, it would be hard for you not to make one, Sagittarius. So I think you're really going to. If all you're doing is planning a trip, your plans are going to work out great. But if you're wanting to take a summer break and go do something that represents summer fun, you could do that too, and it would work out just fine. So I think that the lights are with you right now, and it can be the first time in a long time that that has happened, Sagittarius. So why don't you just take advantage of that and go off and do your thing, because I think it's going to work out just fine. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Capricorn. It's business as usual, Capricorn, because Pluto in your sign is trining Uranus in Taurus, and together they're trining the sign of Virgo as well. So you can be interested in improving your health little by little, which is a good way to do it, because in a funny kind of a way, you don't even notice that you're being successful if you only improve it little by little, but it tends to build toward a big success over time. And that's the way Capricorns like to work. They like to be successful over time. So they let time work for them. And this is a good time to consider that, Capricorn, because the Sun and Venus in Aries are squaring Pluto in your sign. When Venus and Pluto square or oppose each other, that is an indication of a betrayal. So it can be that someone else wants to go off and start something new, and they might leave you behind, Capricorn. Or they may just decide to go on a trip by themselves. Well, you'll just have to put up with it. You may not really mind that, Capricorn, because Uranus in Taurus is trining your sun, and I think you've got your mind on more practical matters, such as investments or your health or business matters or long-term career plans, and that is what you should be thinking about, because those are the things that are aspected to be successful in the long run. And if there was something that had failed before, this is a time when, why don't you give it another try, Capricorn? Maybe it could succeed. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Aquarius. This is a time when you can be blessed by the fact that Mars in Gemini is trining Saturn and Jupiter in your sign, because the malefic planets, Mars and Saturn, are working together. They're helping each other out. That means they're helping you, Aquarius. And I think right now you need a little help. And that is because yours is a fixed sign. And there are 4 planets in fixed signs squaring and opposing each other. So you have Saturn, which can cause delay and slow you down a little bit. And then you have Jupiter, which is a great planet and can make you very hopeful. And they are trining Mars, which is good, but they're opposing the moon in Leo today. And Uranus in Taurus is also being squared by them. And so I would say there are some people around that are not only persistently challenging you, Aquarius, but you know, it's like they're a broken record. It's like whatever they're saying, they've already said, and they don't know how to say anything else, so they just keep repeating themselves, and it might be driving you crazy. And so, Aquarius, all I can think of is that the future is actually looking good for you, particularly if you stick to what you're dreaming about and don't listen to anybody else. And that is because Jupiter's in your sign. Jupiter's only in a person's sign once in 12 years. So you have to expand because Jupiter is a planet of expansion. Well, Saturn is a planet of doubt. Do not let your doubts stop you now, Aquarius. Talk to younger people. That's that Mars in Gemini. And see what they have to say about your ideas. Maybe you could get lucky with having a few younger people with greater skills or new ideas join you, and then you could make your dream come true, I hope. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time, once again, when you are able to almost write poetry. You are able to communicate so lyrically and sweetly to other people that this is a time when you should be paying attention to your dreams and write them down. Or if you're a photographer, you should go out and take a lot of pictures. They do say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I think that's true. Because we value art. Because art can say something sometimes that we can't. And you have a way of softly putting your feelings and your sensitivity into words or into pictures or into dance. You're so creative, Pisces, you may as well go the creative route this year and just give it a try to see what comes out. People are not creative all the time, and you can't turn it on and off. You have to be inspired by it, and then you have to take a hold of that creativity and do something with it. But I think you can do that, Pisces, and I don't think anything's stopping you. So don't waste your time at a lower level. Go as high as you can with your own creativity. You never know. You might be doing something priceless right now, but you won't know it until you do it. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show and read our blog on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.